All right, today's topic, man, I saw something. Hope everybody's doing all right, man, in the gym again. Today I'm gonna do some leg lunges and stuff, but let me put this down and then, but I saw topic of the day. I think it either happened today or yesterday about, give me a second. Excuse me about that, but yeah, I saw something with the bill with transgender women, which is a man transitioning to a woman, competing in women's sports. It was a bill. All right, just keep that in mind. Let me get these dumbbells real quick. I'm gonna do some lunges, but yeah, that's the topic. And it was very bizarre to me, man. This one is just crazy. But watch this and I'll get back to you on my thoughts, man. The bill was blocked by the Senate Democrats. But yeah, I'll get back to you after these lunges.
Republicans set to dare Democrats to block the Senate from voting on the Protecting Women and Girls in Sports Act, which would bar biological men from competing in women's sports. Senior congressional correspondent Chad Pergram live on the Hill with more. This should all happen today?
Dana, that's right. Probably about 5:30, 6 o'clock. It's a test vote tonight on a bill sponsored by GOP Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville. The bill needs 60 yeas to break a filibuster. The GOP is daring Democrats to vote no. The House passed the bill in January.
With the House passage of the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act, we are one step closer as a nation to making sure that not one more male athlete is able to take a trophy, a roster spot, playing time, resources, or an opportunity to compete from a woman.
If all 53 Senate Republicans vote yes, 7 Democrats must join them to end the filibuster. That's a high bar. Only 2 Democrats supported the bill in the House earlier this winter. Most Democrats are outraged at the legislation. They say people born as men and playing sports against women is not a problem.
Of the approximately 510,000 athletes who play at the NCAA level, 10 are transgender. Not 10,000, 10.
President Trump wants to prohibit money from going to states which allow those born as men from competing against women. Dana?
All right, Chad, thank you so much. I think 10 is 10.
Annie Andrews. She was the record holder in women's powerlifting in Canada. The record for a bench press that she held was 275 pounds. Now, Annie Andrews won 8 out of 9 competitions she entered in the women's category over the past 4 years. So now enter Avi Silverberg. He goes to the women's competition and he says, well, hey, even though I look like this, I identify as a woman. And he is allowed to compete in the women's competition. He then goes on to shatter Annie Andrews' record of 275 pounds on the bench press by bench pressing nearly 370 pounds, making him the current women's record holder by nearly 100 pounds. Now here's the video.
Portland Interscholastic League Championships, a trans sophomore runner for McDaniel High School finished first in both the girls 200 meter and the 400 meter. You can see the athlete speeding by their competition here. The athlete, formerly a male, is allowed to compete under the OSAA rules as a girl and will compete this weekend at state. They have the top 200 meter time in the state and the 3rd best time in the 400 meter. Neither time would have made the podium on the boys' side.
Lunges will take it out of you. Whew. But anyway, back to the bill not being passed. So 0 Democrats voted for the bill, right? What is that? Basically, the bill is to keep trans women out of women's sports, biological man competing in the women's sports. What does that tell you about our government, both parties, Republicans and Democrats? If we can't agree on this, which is ridiculous. I think any human being that has common sense knows that it's unfair. There's a difference, right? I believe, what did it say? Most Americans agree with it. So why did it not pass with the Democrats? That is gonna, how can I say this, man? On this subject alone, man, it kind of keeps people skeptical of, I want to say, just on this topic, on the Democrats, right? Like, why would they be against this topic? I think it's the third time the bill has been voted on and not passed. I could be wrong, but the third time. What does that tell you? You can't trust the government, man. It's all corrupt, one side and the other. I'm sure there's bills passed that the Republicans voted against, or yeah, it's both ways, but it kind of shows you government can be trusted just on the common sense stuff. These are common sense, right? It should be, but anyway, even though the trans is a very small percentage, right, that are competing in women's sports, but still, you know, what's fair is fair. And I don't know, I think on this topic, the Democrats are just gonna keep falling further down, you know, on the political stage. If they keep standing by this, I mean, I'm sure there's other topics and stuff, but on this specific topic, it's just gonna rub, you know, the people. It's gonna rub the people wrong, man. It's gonna keep, like, it makes me skeptical, right? I don't know all the issues and political issues and topics, but on this one, yeah, it's ridiculous, man. I think like 85%, is that what they said? 85% of the people agree with it. With, I don't know what the 15%, it should be 100%, but I say the other 15% that don't agree, cool. But all Democrats, come on, that's ridiculous, man. But I'll let you see, excuse me, I'm gonna finish my leg workout, but I'm gonna let you see this, the other part of this video that kind of explains it. But yeah, this one is wild, man. Drink your water, eat right, control what you can control, man. Get healthy, stay in the gym, and yeah, man, just, I don't know, this one's crazy. This one got me. I didn't even know it got turned down 2 other times. This is the 3rd time. Crazy. It's crazy that it's even a issue, but you know, I still love everybody, man. And let's get right.
I'm Kayla Gaskins in Washington. The political fight over allowing Allowing transgender athletes to play in women's sports continues on Capitol Hill, with Democrats blocking Republicans' latest effort to pass a bill on the issue.
Not having voted in the affirmative, the motion is not agreed to.
Every Democrat in the Senate voting against a Republican bill Monday designed to ban transgender athletes from competing in women's and girls' sports at federally funded schools.
Too often in this debate, it gets lost that we're talking about real people.
All Republican senators voted in favor of the bill, but they still needed some Democratic support to pass.
Imagine being the parent of a trans kid and telling your child they are not even allowed to play on the same sports team as their friends.
I think what it tells you is the Democrats haven't gotten the message from the last election. I mean, this is a no-brainer. It is intuitively obvious to the American people that biological boys shouldn't be playing girls' sports.
Democrats argued for keeping the federal government out of the issue, leaving it up to states and local communities.
Ultimately sending the message to women that we don't matter, that we're not worthy of calling ourselves champions.
Although this vote failed, the legislation was just one of many avenues taken by Republicans to advance the issue.
The war on women's sports is over.
President Donald Trump signing an executive order last month directing the Department of Education to inform school systems allowing transgender athletes to compete in female sports they're in violation of Title IX.
My administration will not stand by and watch men beat and batter female athletes.
One such athlete is Peyton McNabb, a former high school volleyball player who suffered a traumatic brain injury when a transgender athlete on the opposing team spiked the ball, hitting her directly in the face.
My situation was 100% avoidable and should have never happened. It was a horrible thing, but so much good has come out of it.
McNabb joining First Lady Melania Trump as a special guest during the president's first major speech in front of a joint Congress Tuesday evening. Trump's executive order doesn't have the longevity of a law passed by Congress because it can simply be thrown out in 4 years by the next president, should they disagree with it. In Washington, I'm Kayla Gaskin.